Yup, today I want to talk about the upcoming armor changes we're getting in the game. The enemy armor cap is going to be 2.7k, which is about something around the level 53 bombard. I don't think even a steel path. That is a 9% damage reduction over there. A little bit more, but so you can kind of have an idea. The thing is, we're gonna be able to deal damage with pretty much everything. And I think that is extremely good for the game. Now I want to get into a bit why. The first thing is Warframe after pretty much the steel path is very restrictive. There is things that work and there is a kind of a strict list. And they even allowed us to, just get used to using armor strip, but still, it took them a long time to do something like this. This should have been done a long time ago. What do we have for now? For dealing with steel path and higher levels, we have armor stripping and usually viral, which deals very well with the Grenier and the Corrupted. Or for the Corpus, you're gonna bypass shields with Toxin. We have Corrosive when used with extremely powerful weapons, but I mean extremely powerful weapons. That is able to deal with very high level targets. Another thing is your classical viral hunter munition, or just viral and slash, that bypasses armor, deals through damage, and is a way to deal with it. And that is pretty much it. Other than that, you have abilities and stuff. But just the rest of the statuses just stays off the list. They will simply not deal enough damage. They're just not gonna do any damage. Any damage. I mean, blast, nothing. Electricity with armor, close to nothing. Gas with armor, close to nothing. But with an armor capped like that, things are gonna look much better, especially if we use corrosive. I mean, it is a crazy buff for corrosive. Now you might think, oh, enemies are gonna be too weak if they're getting like this amount of armor like we are seeing here. The thing is, they're gonna adjust the life accordingly, and as they say, they want to keep a time to kill just like it is now. It is very hard to even talk about this because we don't really. I just think we're gonna really get the hold of the thing when we see it actually in game and trying against it, because it might just be that enemies are gonna be much softer than I am thinking they're gonna be. With everything that Pablo said, the way that armor scaling is gonna be, the amount of armor, maximum armor they're gonna have. If we're gonna get if 2.7k is gonna be the absolute maximum, or if that value will double with steel path or not, but I think it won't. But yeah, that thing will allow so much stuff to just work. That is kind of crazy, enemy, not enemy, Warframe abilities are now gonna deal damage. A crap ton of them is now gonna deal damage, and that is one of the main points. As for I talked a bit about the status rework to really get frames to be dealing really good damage. We would probably still need another rework on statuses, but this is gonna be big. This is gonna be huge, completely huge. I have to say that I haven't yet watched other people's opinions about this. I haven't. But I saw that some people posted videos already about it, and I'm gonna take a look eventually. But I've seen a few comments, especially on the forum post, the dev workshop forum post, and I think they're a bit unfortunate comments, I have to say, because there was some people saying like, "Oh, every weapon can pretty much kill level cap with armor strip. I was hoping for enemies to get tougher on an update. I wanted more armor." That is the problem. People are already too used to having that, to being forced to use armor strip or to deal no damage. That is coming just to fix that. You know? That is good. Or at least it sounds good. My main argument and the main reason because I think this is extremely beneficial, of course, it's going to be more accessible to a lot of the damage types and statuses to work. The other reason is Warframe is not a game with barriers. Warframe is a game with walls. There are freaking walls of difficulty along the game. You're starting to deal damage. You're making your cool builds. You're killing enemies fairly well. All of a sudden, you have to kill an Eidolon. I remember as if it was yesterday, the day I fought my first Eidolon. I was so excited getting in there. I was dealing no damage. And when I got into my operator that I had to use to break the shields, I was also dealing no damage. So I'm like, what the F? You know, the game just threw a wall there and allowed me to hit the wall with my face. So that is another thing that happens when you're getting to the steel path. I'm thinking about a new player experiencing steel path. He's been struggling to get good weapons because there is a crap ton of weapons, but there's just so much stuff that is expensive as F to build. And then you finally got a hold of your weapon, you got a couple formas in. There is the steel path for you to clear everything again. But now you're dealing no damage because enemies just, the armor scaling is just completely nuts. And you're done. You're gonna have to forma stuff. You just hit a wall. Not only that, but then there's the enemy damage, which, you know, you're probably gonna die a lot. But having enemies, you know, being more vulnerable to damage is already gonna be a lot better because at the very least, now you'll be able to deal damage. And if you're able to deal just enough damage, if the enemy's dead, that means he's not killing you. You know, same thing as goes for MMOs. The dead dude doesn't deal DPS. If you're dead in a raid, that means your DPS is 0. You know, that same goes for the enemies. I think that's gonna make it a lot more viable for new players. I just think it's gonna be a very positive change for the game, and I'm really excited to try stuff out. I think that especially Warframe abilities, if they deal some damage now, they might just do very good damage in the future, and if they do damage now, they're gonna be insane in the future. You know, some like Revenant, Dance Macabre. Just think about it. It's gonna be kind of crazy, I think. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see the changes. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, leave it a like, subscribe, and peace.